Okay, using the multiplication rule can also help determine how many ways there are to arrange a group. For instance, factorial. When we use the word factorial, what that means is you'll have, the way we write it is 3 exclamation point. And the way we read that is 3 factorial, which means 3 times 2 times 1. And when you multiply all those together, that equals 6. So if I were to give you 5 factorial, that would be 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which would give you 120. Now, the reason we need to know this is because that's going to lead into permutations here in a second. All right, factorial. 3 factorial, like I said, was 3 times 2 times 1. But let's give it for instance. If I have 3 cards A, B, and C, I want to know how many ways can I arrange this. Well, if my first card is an A, then I have a choice of B or C for my second card. If I have B as my first card, then I have A and C for my second card. And if I have C as my my first card, then I have A and B for a choice for my second card. Now, if A is my first card, and let's say I chose B as my second card, well then that means C has to be my third card. I continue this pattern all the way through, and as you notice, here are my 6 possible outcomes. Okay. Now, why is this so important? Because it leads into permutations. All right, and in permutations, order matters. Let's say, for instance, I have 28 students, but only 3 jobs. I have a recorder, a greeter, and a reader. I am going to select 3 students each day to do the jobs listed. I don't want to play favorites, so this will be random. The first person chosen will record all the work with the iPad. The second person chosen will be the greeter and at the door, and the third person will be the reader. How many ways can I randomly assign these 3 jobs? Well, my first job, there are 28 possible ways. Now remember, once a person is assigned a job, they can't be assigned a different job. So my first job, there's 28 people. The second job, there's 27 people, and then my third job is 26. Well, we write this as 28P3. So that means 28 permutation 3. So the number of permutation, so the number I want, or number of people I have, permutation, and then we're going to take 3 at a time. And the way we do this is permutation, 28 factorial is 28 times 27 times 26 times 25 times 24 times ... times 3 times 2 times 1. So if I were to write that 28 factorial out, I'd write all those numbers all the way down to 1. Now, I'm going to choose 3 at a time. Well, 25 on the bottom, I have to do 25 times 24 times 23. And the reason I have to do that is because I'm only choosing 3 people. So I have to get rid of, since I'm going to keep 28, 27, 26, I got to make sure that I get rid of 25 through 1, so I have to divide by that. And the way we do that is we read it as 28 factorial over 28 minus 3 factorial. So I can only use 3 of them, and the rule is n, that's the number of number I have to choose from, permutation, and the k is how many I'm taking. Like this case, I was taking 3 at a time. So you just use those numbers to plug into the formula. So n was 28, so I had 28 factorial. Then 28 minus 3 factorial. And that is how you write a permutation. Now, the next thing we're going to do is going to go into, last thing, when you have 0 factorial, that has to equal 1. For instance, if I have 28 permutation 28, if we were to plug that into the formula, I get 28 factorial over 0 factorial. If 0 factorial was a 0, that would be undefined. So in this case, 28 factorial has to be over 1.